Today we're going to build the ultimate moose hunting rifle. Good friend of mine, Trent Snyder, who is a co-owner of Cartel Game Calls, drew the coveted Maine moose tag. And he called me up and he said, hey, I've got this once in a lifetime tag. What gun should I use? What caliber should I use? What bullet should I use? What optics should I use? I mean, he is a world-class turkey caller. He's a great hunter, but he's never been on a moose hunt before. So I said, I got you covered. I've killed a lot of moose, Alaska moose, Canadian moose, Shiras moose, and I'm gonna run you through what my recommendation will be and what this actual gun build is. So just to start off, standard Encore Pro Hunter platform, FlexTech stock, definitely going to want this configuration because the 300 Win Mag, which is what this is chambered in, has a fair amount of recoil. We have 5R rifling in the barrel. We could run a suppressor on this, although it's not needed. We're not shooting long range. We're not shooting multiple shots. We're really not worried about recoil management right here. The scope, a little bit different than I use for whitetails or some of my out west hunts. It is a VX6 HD. You could be in dark timber, you can be in low light conditions, it could be pouring rain down. So we want the best in optical quality. This is the best Leupold makes. We've coupled that with a backcountry rings, which I like. So if you notice here, you've got 4 screws that attach the ring top to the bottom. And you've got your big secure T25 locking right into your pick rail right here. I've never had this come loose. I make sure I always run this to the torque specifications, both on the base and the ring, so I don't crimp the tube. I get it tight and I have no issue with recoil, but I'm running the 2 to 12. So on 2 power, I've got great field of view, quick target acquisition. So if I'm spotting, stalking through the timber, some of these shots could be like 10, 15 yards and you're calling in a moose in the big timber of Maine. You don't know how close you're gonna get. You have this giant body. I want a big, big, big field of view because if I roll up there with 4 or 5 power, I may not be able to find the vitals very easily on an animal as big as a moose. But if for some reason I'm in a cutover, I'm looking whatever 100, 150 yards away, I have the time, I have the rest, I can roll that up to 12 power. I'm not gonna run a custom CDS turret. It's not necessary. These shots should be really under 100 yards, maybe to 150. We're gonna zero the gun at 100 yards, and I'm not gonna worry about the CDS turret. I did go with the lighted reticle though. They look almost black in the timber, especially certain lighting conditions. So I want the ability, if I've got this at the shoulder and I'm having problems seeing them through the duplex reticle, I can tap the button and now I've got a red dot in the center of it. So this is the rig that I'm gonna set up for him. He is right-handed, so I'm gonna take the swing hammer, adjust this to the side a little bit later. But now let me walk you through the ammunition. There are a lot of ammunition choices. Anybody who's walked into a big retailer knows it's just rows and rows and rows of bullet style, ammunition style. So I'm gonna boil this down specifically to moose hunting, and it could be elk, it could be caribou, something bigger than a whitetail or a mule deer. So here are my 3 choices that I would recommend. Number 1 is your outfitter ammunition. So this is a CX bullet, monolithic bullet. I like this nickel plated case, and this is waterproof primers, waterproof casing. The CX bullet is monolithic, so you're gonna have 100% weight retention and you have the heat shield tip. Definitely in this particular round is in 180 grains. So we're stepping it up. Whitetail round, 150, 165. I want something that's a little bit harder hitting. And so I'm gonna definitely try to see how well the outfitter ammunition shoots. Step up to here to the Precision Hunter. They make it a 168, they make it a 200. We're going with the 200, you can see there. Now, the Precision Hunter ammunition is loaded to a higher specification for accuracy, consistency between bullet weights, and as well as the powder configuration and the load dynamics. You do also have the heat shield technology here. So a 200 grain bullet here is going to shoot really well at longer ranges. I'm not necessarily need to shoot longer ranges. I just like the idea of having a 200 grain precision bullet. Great weight retention here. Not as good as the CX bullet, but definitely going to hold together even if I contact that shoulder blade of the moose. And now we have the Super Demon right here. So Superformance is going to shoot faster, roughly about 200 feet per second faster than your Precision Hunter and your outfitter ammunition. This, I chose to also go with the CX bullet. So they make it with an SST, great for whitetails. You could probably shoot caribou with it because they're pretty thin body and don't have a lot of heart. But for a moose, you may have to thump them a time or two. So CX bullet, great bone breaking, so the same configuration as we have on the Outfitter ammunition. Only 165 grains though. Little bit lighter bullet. You may say, well, why are you going to have that if you have a 200 and you have a 180? Based off the twist rate of the barrel, and this is 1 in 10, I may find that the Superformance shoots a little bit tighter group based off the twist rate. We don't know. We're going to shoot all three. We're going to choose one. What I really hope to hunt with though is the 200 grain ELDX out of the Precision Hunter. All right, so we've got a big 4 feet sheet of cardboard, so I'm going to actually start at 100 yards. Normally my sight-in procedure, fire at 25 yards, make your big adjustments to get close to bullseye, go to 50, make your big adjustments to get back to the bullseye, and then go to 100 and make your small adjustments from there. Here, because we have a big sheet of cardboard, I can come right back at 100. I'm going to throw the Superformance down here. The only reason I'm going to start with this, I happen to have more of it sitting in the closet at home, so no particular reason. All I want to do is get this on paper, and then I could jump to the other rounds and determine which one's going to be best for the hunt. As I had mentioned, I really want to hunt with the Precision Hunter, so now that I'm on paper with, like I said, ammo that I just happen to have a bunch of at home, I'm going to go switch to the ammunition I hope to use on the hunt, which is the Precision Hunter. Difference in bullet weight. Now you got a 200 grain bullet versus a 165, but you also don't have the extra velocity with the powder configuration in the Superformance. It's almost like I've done this a time or two. So fantastic in 3 shots. I'm already inside the center circle right there. So I'm going to go ahead and fire 2 more shots. If I'm pleased with the group size, then I'm going to make my final adjustments. If I'm not pleased with the group size, then I've got 2 more different boxes of ammunition to try. Now, one thing to remember, when you start getting into these belted magnums, these big cartridges like this, the barrel does heat up quickly. It's a little bit overcast today, which is nice, a little bit cooler at 70 degrees. So I try not to shoot very quickly. I try to shoot, let the barrel acclimate and shoot, because when you hunt, you're going to be shooting off of a cold bore. So don't get in a rush. Now we're going to switch over to the Outfitter ammunition. Precision Hunter was really good. Just see if we can increase the accuracy a little bit. Different bullet style, as we talked about. This is the monolithic CX, and different bullet weight. So this is 180 grain versus 200. So you could see a difference in accuracy just because of the twist rate. All right. Sighter shot was a lot higher, but again, it's a lighter bullet to be expected. Let's see where this one hits. Oh, she likes this ammunition. This may be the choice right here. Barrel's getting, ooh, she's getting hot. Tell you what, I'm gonna let the barrel rest right now and cool. See what it does on a cold barrel, but right now I've got about a 1/2 inch going. A little bit higher the bullseye, easily sight correctable. So let that cool, make sure I know in a cold bore what this barrel can do. All right, now that we let our barrel cool down, we're gonna take 1 more shot. If this hits in the same group, we're gonna go with the Outfitter ammunition. All right, so we got a 1 inch group with 180 grain CX bullet, Outfitter ammunition, shoots fantastic. I'm gonna make 1 sight adjustment. I'm 2 inches high. I wanna be dead on at 100. I do not need to shoot very far. On a moose, you wanna shoot center line or below. So I always rather favor a bullet dropping into the pocket right there than to be rising and hit above the center line of the moose. And moose are very, very difficult to judge because they have that hump on the back. So what you think is the center line of the moose, you actually have to think about their body and not the hump. So you always want to aim below center line or in that lower 1/3. So we're going to click this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we know we're zeroed at 100, just to qualify this, I should be about 3 inches low at 200. We're going to ring the gong just to confirm. Center punch. All right, this gun is ready for Trent. 300 Win Mag is one of my all-time favorite guns. Probably a little too much gun for a whitetail or a mule deer or something, but for elk, moose, caribou, it's an ideal cartridge. You can find the ammunition in virtually any sporting goods store, but the big decision to make here was a Hornady Outfitter ammunition with the CX bullet. It is a monolithic bullet. It's gonna have 100% weight retention, and of course a nickel casing, and the design of this cartridge is fantastic in inclement conditions. So pair this cartridge with this caliber and this Encore, and I'd say Trent's ready to kill a big moose.